I'm muted. Am I muted? I am muted. Hello. Now you can hear me. I was just going like this and giving y'all the business and you couldn't even hear what I was saying. No, I'm here. I see. Now the chat is coming through and everyone's like, "What are you doing, Val?" I am starting my day early in the morning is what I'm doing, and this Wednesday feels like a Monday. All right. So, I'm back. My name is VooDoo Val, and I'm going to be your host this morning for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. Despite the hiccup just now, I do this for a living, I promise. And I'm super excited for what we've got going on with the show today. It is going to be an absolute blast. We're going to be diving into our Photoshop starter file, and then we're going to be diving into Express, and I think, first of all, we are doing some things in Express that I have never done before until this challenge. I'm very excited to share it with you, and I think that you folks are going to absolutely love it. I see Steve in the chat. Steve, hello. Welcome to Air Val, where we never do flight checks. Exactly. Robert, welcome in. Sam Peterson holding it down in the chat. Thank you so much. Frank, it is great to see you, my friend. I see Afroja and Patrick, Reverb Mike. Who else do I see? Shyam, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Clarissa, hello. Good to see you. Llama Mama. We got Llama Mama and Steve Festus Casaboom, two people with just the most incredible names ever. It is good to see all of you folks. Marcia, hello. And over on the YouTube chat, I see we have Marion and Vitor and Damacius. Junk, Super Cuphead, Marcy, welcome in. It's good to see you. All right, so we're going to jump over into our project for today. And if you would like to follow along with me, please check out the description below where you can see all of the starter files. And it's going to look a little something like this. This is our challenge number 3. Use assets from Photoshop to arrange a unique scene and animate in Adobe Express, then add VoiceOver to bring your creation to life. So we have been working for a few days on these cool little illustrations. We got our little stickers in here. We've got our bobblehead illustration, which we worked on yesterday, and we are gonna dive into Express after we take a little peek here at what we've got going on. So you'll notice that I've got our head, front arm, shirt, back arm, shoes, pants, all this stuff kind of compiled into our bobblehead. Here we have our stickers as well, and if you have been following along with the challenges, you may have some extra illustrations which you would like to add, and we can dive into Adobe Express in one of 2 ways here. Well, one of 3 ways, but I'm going to show you the 2 most streamlined ways. So, there we go. So I have my library here where I've got a bunch of things that I've created. I've got all the different pieces of my my little guy here, my little bobblehead, and we've got all of our stickers and our colors. This is something I've been curating throughout the challenge here. And if you would like to create your own CC library to access within the Adobe Express, you can. You'll be able to see all of this stuff in Express if you go into your stuff, but what we're going to do actually is test out the linked files, which means we can just open this Photoshop file directly inside of Adobe Express, and it will have all of our stuff laid out for us so that we don't have to assemble anything in Adobe Express. And that process looks a little something like this. So this is our file open here in Adobe Express, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So if I pop over here, this may be familiar to you if you go to new.express.adobe.com. You can see your general landing page for your Adobe Express. And you can see, you know, all of the popular templates, suggested quick actions, text effects, text to image, all of these different get started buttons. And typically when I jump in here, I like to grab the Instagram reel or the Instagram story or the square post, because I do a lot of Instagram stuff here. I like to surf around in this general area and check out what is available to me in this regard. But what we're going to do is hit this button here, this start from your content, because what this does is you're allowed to upload, it says PDFs, Photoshop files, and Illustrator files, and it will bump it in right there. So all you have to do is click this and navigate to that file on your computer, and what it does is it just, in fact, maybe we can go ahead and go like this. we can double click our challenge number 3 here, and it gives us our little uploading, evaluating your file. It's doing a little thinking for us. And then all you have to do is it'll give you a little prompt down here in just a moment that says to edit your file. Yeah, challenge 3, we've saved this in your files. Open an editor to make further changes, and you just click open editor and you will get this delightful page here where this looks identical to our Photoshop file. You can see over here, it's got all of our stickers and everything inside of it, our text and all that good stuff already arranged exactly as I have prepared for you, which is pretty darn cool. Llama Mama saying, I want a seahorse. I want that seahorse. Steve saying, giddy up. Yes, indeed. General Kenobi, hello there. La 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 from Carol, hello. Reverb Mike's saying, howdy to Tex. Clever Devlin, welcome in, my friend. It's good to see you. Burned D, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for another challenge. And I also see J. Mark Bowden. How are you, my friend? Well, isn't that the cutest thing? I'm glad you feel that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to animate this. We're going to create, this is already formatted in the size and shape that you will need if you would like to create an Instagram reel or a short or a TikTok or whatever it is that you might use this challenge to inspire. So we really don't have to resize anything. And it's already arranged. Keep in mind, all of these things are totally editable. So if you do decide that you would like to move things around, maybe you are using your own illustration and yours is slightly different from mine, you can move things around. You can also straight up drag and drop things in and assemble it how it needs to go. I'm gonna go ahead and delete our text because we don't need our text. We really just need our illustrations here, and we're gonna animate it. And the animation is gonna be extra special. So if you have animated in Adobe Express before, then you probably know that you can come in here, you can click an element. So let's click this arm. And you can come down to animation, and you can do an in animation, animation in, a looping animation for the span of time that the video or the animation continues, and then you can do an out. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say we want this to slide in, all right, like so. And then we're not gonna add anything else. We're just gonna have it slide in, and you can change the direction. We do definitely want it cruising that way, so we're gonna leave that like so. And then we're gonna come over here to this arm, and we are going to add also the slide, but we're gonna change this direction for this to slide in from this direction. Maybe you can see what we're getting at here. We are basically assembling, we're animating the assembly of our bobblehead toy here. So we're not just adding a little breathe, interesting animation to something just to give it a little bit of motion and give it a little bit of flavor. We are straight up using the animation within Adobe Express to create the kind of gesture and the kind of personality in animation that you might get if you were to do a project in, say, After Effects or Premiere Pro. We're being a little clever with how we use these tools today. So let's go ahead and grab these shoes. I want these shoes to also animate in. And we want this, let's say in, we're gonna do the slide as well, and we're gonna click the direction is up. We're gonna also do the same thing to the pants. Animation, in, slide up, boom. But we want to do something slightly different here because that's two different elements that are both going to be sliding up, and we don't really want them to slide in together. We want to create this idea that our toy is being assembled and coming together. So I want those pants to slide in, and then I want the shoes to slide in. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come into our edit timeline with just this button over here on the bottom right. And it's going to open our timeline here so that we can really see what it is that we're doing. And what I want to do is, we'll preview this in a moment, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to select those pants, and it says that the duration is 0.5 seconds. So I'm going to select the shoes, and I'm going to put that duration as 1 second. So there's a little bit of a stagger there, right? And then over here with our shirt is we're gonna have the shirt drop in. Okay, so let's come over to animation. Let's say animate in. let's do a slide. Let's drop that down right there. And then we're going to do the head, and we're going to do something a little bit different with the head, okay? Because remember, this is a bobblehead character. This is something that has a little bit more personality. You know, he dances, right? Even when he's standing still, he's supposed to dance. And we want to make this like the kind of promo for this item that is very unique. So we're going to come into animation, and we're going to have this slide down. We're going to point down. We're going to change the duration to 1 second to kind of stagger it. So the shirt will drop and then the head will drop. And then we're also going to put a looping animation. And that looping animation is going to be a bob for our bobblehead. And I'm actually going to stretch this out. Here you can change the duration of your video. I'm going to stretch this out to about 9 seconds, I think. And we're going to go ahead and preview this. I'm actually going to zoom in here so that we can really see everything that's going on. And let's go ahead, starting over here, and let's see what we've got. You'll notice all of our pieces have disappeared because we animated them in. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's so cool. So it's like all of the pieces slide in, and our little head is just, you know, doing its thing. It looks like I need to refresh. This happens every so often. Marching or magic. Please don't drop the plants. I'm trying. There we go. Let's see that one more time. Yeah. I'm almost thinking maybe we don't need that longer duration for the animation of the head, since it does have a little bit of a different gesture. It might be taking a little bit too long to get in there. So I'm going to come over to the animation. Let's go ahead and make this 0.5. Let's say 0.5. Boom. And then let's see how that does. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. All right, so we have our animation here, but what we want to add is a little bit of text, and then we're going to add a little bit of a voiceover, and I'm going to show you how easy that is. So we have our little shout out for some of our friends who've been watching our daily creative challenge. Is the music a little bit louder than me? Let me crank that down for you. There you go. Hopefully that's not too much. I see Odari. Odari, my friend, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. We are doing some pretty cool stuff with our animation here today. So yeah, we do have our collab with Polly and Melanie, which is a little shout out to folks who were in the chat during that sticker challenge. But we are going to do a few more shout outs for all of you folks because I'm so excited to see all of my friends in the chat today. So we're going to add some text, and that text is going to be a little something like this. Let's maybe shorten this. Let's bring this back to about we'll do like 6 seconds this time. Let's do like 6 seconds. And what I would like to do is add another scene. And I'd like to drag this to be on the other side of our animation, because we're going to have a transition here from one to the other. So we are going to make this background color. Let's change this to one of our colors for our brand. And we are going to have, honestly, it would be cool. Let's do this a different way. Let me Control Z. And what I'm going to do instead is click this button and say duplicate, so that we have an identical one, because what I'd like to do is here, we can just select and delete all of these things. And this will be great, because then we can animate these stickers coming in, like so. Let's go ahead and have an animation in. Let's have it kind of grow in. Yeah, let's have it grow. Let's have these grow in. We'll say in, grow, in, grow, boom, like so, just so that we get a little bit of this. So they just kind of pop in like so, you know. And let me go to show layer timing so I can really see this. So we've opened the timeline, but we can see more details with what we actually have selected here for our animation. So what I want to do is I want to kind of stagger these stickers coming in. So it's like boop, boop, boop. You know, you got to do the sound effects too, because if you don't do the sound effects, then you're out of luck. It doesn't work the same if you don't do the sound effects with your mouth. So if everybody who's watching at home, I'm going to need you to adhere to that. So we're going to do the triangle is going to come in. We'll leave the triangle there. Then we're going to do our mandala sort of effect, and we'll come over here to just under a second, and we're just going to drag that there, right? So we're going to start that from here, and then we're going to click the collab with Polly and Melanie, and we're going to drag that out to about here. So about the time that this one comes back into frame, we will just drag that right there like so. So let's check this out. Boom, boom, boom. All of this comes in. I almost wonder if we need it to be, yeah, and then it switches to our next scene, and we've got our bobblehead that pops in, and that looks pretty darn good to me. And so we're gonna add a little bit of text here, and maybe let's see if we can do a little bit of this. So that comes in. We'll make this a little bit shorter, and then when our other piece comes in here, we'll make that even shorter, like so. We'll just have them kind of come in a little bit faster. Boom, boom, boom. Love it. Love it. All right, let's add some text. Let's go into text, add your text, and let's say from, who's in the chat? We're gonna say from, let's see, because we've got this as a collab between Polly and Melanie. So I'm gonna say from the producers of General Kenobi. Let's throw this up here. And I'm not going to be too precious with like how good this text looks, because we don't have a whole lot of time. So we'll do this right here, and then let's just change this to our orange color. So we'll say, from the producers of General Kenobi. Boom, boom, boom. And we should fade this in. You can also animate the text. So we'll go to animation, in, we'll have it fade in, and then we will have it fade out. From the producers of General Kenobi. Boom. We'll make that last a couple of seconds. From the producers of General Kenobi, fade out. Then let's add, I think we could probably duplicate our text. We'll click it, and I will say, can we duplicate that? I think that we can, but let's go out of animation. Yeah, we'll duplicate that text, and we will bump this up and align it perfectly. And we will bring this over here. So let's say, from the producers of General Kenobi, and I don't know, sponsored by, let's say, Reverb Mic, sponsored by, how are we doing on time here? Oh, we're doing good. Sponsored by Reverb Mic. Okay, let's see how this looks. From the producers of General Kenobi, sponsored by Reverb Mic, comes, let's see, let's make this longer, right? Let's make this a little bit longer. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have something else animate in. Sponsored by Reverb Mic. Let's go ahead and click this. We'll hit duplicate on that, and we'll bump this up. Make sure that it's, I wonder if we should just do all of them like this. We might should. We might should. Let's do this. And then let's grab the other one. We'll put sponsored by General, or sponsored by Reverb Mic. Boom. And then here. And then let's actually select all of these. We'll make sure they show up. Let's make them a little bit smaller so we can really see this. Boom. Okay, from the producers of General Kenobi, sponsored by Reverb Mike, and we'll say in collaboration with Melanie, in collab with Polly, was it Polly? Yeah, Polly and Melanie. Boom. All right. And collab with Polly and Melanie. Let's see what this looks like. From the producers of General Kenobi, sponsored by Reverb Mike, in collab with Polly and Melanie. Let's make those last a little bit longer. Let's make that go to the very end there. Make that go to the very end there. And make this go to the very end. All right, I love that. I love that. That looks good. How are we doing on time? We got like 3 minutes. From the producers of General Kenobi, sponsored by Reverb Mike, in collab with Polly and Melanie. We'll throw that there. Like this comes in. We'll snag the text. Let's go ahead and add text. Boom. Add our text. We're gonna do like a title text, and I'm gonna call this. This is gonna be called the Odari bobblehead. And let's make it big. Did I spell Odari right? I think I spelled Odari right. Okay, yeah, the Odari bobblehead coming to a store near you. All right, so that is our animation, and now we just have to add a voiceover to it, right? So we've got this going. Boom, I love it. Let's do our voiceover, shall we? And all you have to do to add a voiceover is we can go to Media, Audio, Record, Voiceover, okay? So let's do this. From the producers of General Kenobi, sponsored by Reverb Mike in collaboration with Polly and Melanie, the Odari bobblehead, coming to a Target exclusive store near you. All right, I don't know why it's at Target. I'm not sure why it's at Target, but we're gonna go ahead and trim that down because I'm pretty sure I ended in the right space. And I'm gonna turn my music off here and we're gonna preview this. From the producers of General Kenobi, sponsored by Reverb Mike in collaboration with Polly and Melanie, the Odari bobblehead, coming to a Target exclusive store near you. Boom! Perfect! You can even add some music if you want to. You can come into music and you can throw, you know, some music in the background just by dragging and dropping some music to your scene. It's pretty easy, and honestly, I love this. I hope that you folks have enjoyed this challenge. This is like one of my favorite challenges I think I have ever done, to be perfectly honest. I was really excited to be able to like kind of do a little shout out for some of you guys. I hope that this has inspired you also to maybe do a little bit of experimentation when it comes to why are you animating? Are you animating in Adobe Express to add a little bit of motion and intrigue, which is fine, which is awesome to do, but can you get a little bit clever with what you're animating and give it a purpose beyond simple motion? You know, what can you do with that movement? So that is all the time I have for you folks today. I do have to take off. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you'd like to follow along, rewatch this, check out the VOD later on the YouTube channel or on Behance and create your own animation, you can download the starter file down in the description below. Post it on Discord. Head over to the Discord because the Discord is great and you can post your stuff in the Discord over there. I've got to take off and I will see you tomorrow morning for challenge number 4. Adios, folks.